I had been sent as part of the Terran Expeditionary Corps to the edge of the Narathian sector, a region of space largely unexplored by humans. Our mission was simple: negotiate a resource-sharing treaty with the Zar'Keth Dominion, led by their queen, Elira. What I didn't anticipate was that diplomacy would involve coercion, deception, and a test of survival. It started during the first formal audience. I stepped into the queen's chamber, my escort flanking me, and she regarded me with a calm yet predatory curiosity. Her voice, when she spoke, reverberated through the room like a physical force. "You are human," she said. "Tell me why you deserve to survive in my halls." I opened my mouth, but before I could respond, my weapons were ripped from my belt by two of her guards: plasma pistols, kinetic knives, even the compact energy baton I always carried. My heart raced. I had no weapons, no backup, and no idea what she expected me to do. "Do not fear," the queen said, a hint of amusement in her tone. "Survival is earned. Fight, human. Show me what you are made of." Her words were both a threat and an invitation. My palms sweated as I realized the full gravity of my situation. I was completely exposed, surrounded by elite alien warriors, and facing a queen who was said to have defeated entire fleets single-handedly. The bare-handed fight. I had always thought humans were weak in comparison to alien species. Our muscles were nothing against scaled exoskeletons or energy-augmented limbs. But I also knew humans excelled at unpredictability, improvisation, and raw determination. And right now, I had no choice but to rely on those qualities. The first strike came faster than I expected. A Zar'Keth warrior lunged at me with a blade that glimmered with lethal energy. I dodged instinctively, rolling to the side and using my momentum to push the attacker off balance. The queen observed silently, her glowing eyes tracking every movement. I realized quickly that fighting like a human, flexible, unpredictable, and relentless, was my only chance. I ducked under a strike, grabbed a loose pipe from the chamber floor, and used it to sweep the legs of my assailant. Even without weapons, I could leverage the environment. The second attacker approached, more cautious than the first. I twisted midair, using a spin kick I had learned from old Terran combat videos, and knocked him back into a decorative pillar. Cracks spiderwebbed across the polished stone, but the humans behind me would have called it a tactical victory. The queen did not intervene, though her eyes glimmered with interest. "Impressive," she said softly, her voice carrying across the room. Few humans could adapt so quickly. I realized then that the challenge was not just physical, it was psychological. The queen was testing not my strength, but my resolve, courage, and adaptability under pressure. By the fifth attacker, my body was screaming. Bruises bloomed across my arms and legs, and sweat stung my eyes. But the human instinct to survive kicked in. I focused on timing, movement, and leverage. Every strike I received, I redirected. Every attack I faced, I turned into opportunity. And then came the moment that changed everything. One of the warriors, a hulking creature with claws like swords, charged at me with full force. I sidestepped, grabbed his arm, and used his momentum to hurl him into the queen's throne. The room went silent. My chest heaved, and I barely had time to register what I'd done before Elira herself stepped forward. She had not moved a muscle until that point, her arms crossed, her expression unreadable. "Human," she said, her voice low but commanding. "You have learned quickly. And yet, you are unarmed. Bare-handed, you defeated 5 warriors. Tell me, do you understand what this means?" I swallowed hard, my adrenaline still surging. I survive," I said cautiously. Her eyes flickered, almost amused. "You have proven potential. Strength of body is nothing without strength of mind. And yet, She paused, circling me slowly. Even the strongest among your kind seldom inspires fear in me. I stared at her, unsure if that was a compliment or a warning. Then she tilted her head, and the faintest smile played across her features. And yet, she continued, today you do. The cultural twist. What I had initially perceived as a brutal challenge now revealed another layer. In the Zar'Keth Dominion, combat was sacred. To fight with honor, courage, and ingenuity without weapons was a statement of intent and strength of spirit. Humans, in this case, were an unknown quantity. My unarmed victory, though small by Zar'Keth standards, represented adaptability, creativity, and the willingness to risk everything, qualities the Queen valued immensely. You understand nothing of our combat traditions, she said, and yet you survive where others fail. Humans are unpredictable. You do not rely solely on weapons, and therein lies your advantage. I realized then that I had accidentally played to humanity's greatest strengths. In a universe filled with advanced technology, bio-enhanced warriors, and energy weapons, humans had ingenuity, unpredictability, and sheer determination, qualities that the Zar'Keth revered, though rarely encountered. The Queen's test concludes. Finally, Elira raised a hand, signaling the remaining warriors to stand down. The tension in the chamber eased slightly. You have survived, she said, her voice calm but carrying an undeniable weight. But survival is not enough. You have drawn my attention. You will come with me to the Hall of Judgment. I nodded, though my muscles screamed in protest. The Queen led me down the polished corridors, her armor catching the dim light and casting a faint violet glow on the walls. In the Hall of Judgment, the Queen seated herself atop a high dais, and I knelt before her. Around the chamber, other warriors whispered among themselves, their eyes wide with respect, disbelief, and curiosity. You fought without weapons, she said, and defeated those trained to kill you. Most humans would have been crushed. You are remarkable. Tell me, human, do you fear death? I paused, considering the question carefully. No, I said finally, my voice steady despite my fatigue. Not when I'm alive and still able to fight. A faint nod. Then you understand, she said. Fear is a tool. Fear guides some, traps others. You harnessed it differently. Today, you proved something rare in the galaxy. Even I felt it. And that, human, is why I stepped back. I blinked. The Queen had admitted, openly, that she feared me, or at least respected my capability enough to acknowledge it. Ending, respect earned, future opened. The Queen did not kill me, nor did she humiliate me. Instead, she offered a nod of approval, a recognition that even humans, disarmed, underprepared, and underestimated, could rise to meet challenges in ways no other species had. From that day on, my status on Helios 9 changed. No longer merely a human engineer, I became a figure of respect, curiosity, and strategic interest. The Queen herself occasionally summoned me, sometimes to advise on engineering solutions, sometimes to spar lightly, testing my adaptability further. I realized something crucial. Strength is not only in weapons or technology, it is in courage, intelligence, and the willingness to act despite fear. That day, barehanded and exposed, I had shown the galaxy what humans could do. As I walked through the docking bay, the Queen's warriors no longer regarded me with suspicion. Instead, their stares carried acknowledgement, sometimes even admiration. And when Elira herself passed by, she gave me a small, imperceptible nod, the ultimate sign of respect in Zar'Keth culture. I had survived disarmament. I had fought barehanded, and I had earned the fear and respect of an alien queen. Sometimes I thought, Being human is not a weakness. It is an unpredictable strength the universe is only beginning to understand. And in the vast expanse of stars, I felt ready for anything.